$2.99 meal deal. Junior Deluxe, regular fries, and a drink for just $2.99. Only at Arby's.
Last year, I asked you to come on back home to Indiana, and you did. This year, there'll be more football, family, and fun. I know you'll have a good time. It's IU.
Well, hey, Frank, what's the news?
Well, I just won the lottery.
What? That is... Wow!
Yep, $20.
Did you hear? Frank just won the lottery. Frank just won the lottery!
Frank just won the lottery!
Frank just won the lottery! Frank!
I won $20.
Big O always makes it easy to get what you need by offering a great selection on all the major brands, hiring people that know what to do, and do it fast with express lane service that's 30 minutes or less on tire changes. So take it easy with Big O Tires, the team you trust.
An officer shoots a suspect in downtown Louisville. An update tonight.
Goodbye, Dots. Hello, video. Sign up and play the first fantasy game with video. New at NFL.com.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota, moving forward.
The two highest scoring teams in the league a year ago combined for 16 points in what was nonetheless an exciting first half. Late drive engineered by Brett Favre gives the Vikings the 9-7 lead at the half. And down to the field we go, and Dan Patrick.
Thank you, Bob. Saints with a touchdown in their first drive. The Vikings with a touchdown on their final drive. 9-7 at halftime. Tony Dungy, Rodney Harrison. What did you think both coaches' philosophies first half, Tony?
Well, I thought Sean Payton on the Saints sideline came out realizing Minnesota is down on defensive backs. He put the ball in Drew Brees' hands, let him throw every down. Brad Childress also realized his defense was hurting, so he tried to use Adrian Peterson in the running game to take the crowd out of the game, Rodney.
Yeah, and the Vikings, they're in a really good place, Coach, because the Saints came out and totally dominated the first quarter, and the Vikings actually survived the first wave of emotion and a turnover by Brett Favre. They should feel really good about themselves.
So 9-7 at halftime. We have breaking news. Let's bring in Sports Illustrated's Peter King. Hey, Peter.
Well, Dan, Patriots owner Robert Kraft told me tonight that the team has finalized a 4-year contract extension with quarterback Tom Brady that will keep him a Patriot through the 2014 season. Now, he said this deal will become official tomorrow when the Patriots file the papers with the league office. Wouldn't discuss terms with me, but I think it's safe to say that Tom Brady, on a per-year basis, now becomes the highest paid player in NFL history at about $19 million a year, Dan.
All right, Peter, how long does he carry that title? Because I got to believe Peyton Manning is on the phone right now with his agent. Peyton's going to look at those numbers and then work off those?
Yes, Peyton's the second happiest man in football right now because he realizes that the floor has now been set for Jim Irsay, and I would expect Peyton to become the highest paid player.
Is it important for him to make more than Brady?
Not really, but it's important for Jim Irsay to keep Peyton Manning happy, so it will happen.
Coming up, Bob Costas on Donovan McNabb's debut for Washington Sunday night. But first, let's introduce you to a new weekly series all about football at the Pee Wee level. Get ready, folks. It's time for the Tiny Football League.
Every year, they take to the gridiron. Some do it for love, some for friendship. Some do it to get out of piano lessons. Whatever the reason, the time has come to give these pint-sized playmakers the respect they deserve. Get ready, America. Get ready for awesome. Get ready, as every week, aspiring sports host Bill Dwyer shows you a football league where the action doesn't stop. Unless it's time to do homework. Small players play big. Toyota presents the Tiny Football League.
This is their tiny house!
As the Tiny Football League debuts, the college football season well underway. On Saturday, Notre Dame will host Michigan at 3:30 Eastern here on NBC. It's a matchup of the two winningest programs in college football history, each coming off a victory in their opener. New coach Brian Kelly has remade the Irish on offense and defense. The big challenge Saturday will be containing this guy, Michigan quarterback Denard Robinson. He rolled up 383 yards combined rushing and passing on Saturday. And now we turn it over to Bob Costas with the story of another quarterback. Bob?
Okay, Dan, week one Sunday night matchup pits the Redskins against the Cowboys. And much interest surrounds the debuts of Donovan McNabb and Mike Shanahan in Washington. Recently, I asked Coach Shanahan if each having something to prove creates an instant bond with his quarterback.
Well, I think it does. I think you always have something to prove. It never ends. And it shouldn't end. You know, you watch your goals, one goal, and that's win a Super Bowl, and that's what we aim to do, and hopefully it won't take too long.
Star quarterbacks have made big moves to new teams before, of course. Fran Tarkenton from the Vikings to the Giants and back again. Joe Montana from the Niners to the Chiefs. Brett Favre, of course. But never has a quarterback still so close to the prime of his career gone directly from one division rival to another. Then again, the 33-year-old McNabb has always been something of a curious case. In just over a decade in Philadelphia, he took the Eagles to 5 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl. But as one magazine headline put it recently, McNabb's career has often seemed at once wildly successful and oddly disappointing. Using his team's successes and his 6 Pro Bowl appearances, you could make a Hall of Fame case for him. But so often falling just short in the postseason amped up the criticism while muting the appreciation. And after 11 often turbulent seasons, Andy Reid and the organization finally decided that McNabb was no longer the guy best suited to take them to a title. In Super Bowl 39, with the clock ticking down, McNabb couldn't quite pull off a comeback win. Now with two-time Super Bowl winner Mike Shanahan, but with a team that was 4-12 a year ago, the clock starts anew for McNabb in Washington. The question now, can Shanahan build a contender in time before McNabb's time runs out?
So we'll be in D.C. on Sunday night as Donovan McNabb and the Redskins face Tony Romo and the Cowboys. And we'll be back in New Orleans for the second half right after this.
This has been the Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota, moving forward.
To run down a dangerous fugitive, I have to move faster, think smarter. I'm Annie Frost, U.S. Marshal. You can run, but you can't hide.
From Jerry Bruckheimer.
Mason Boyle shot the whole family.
He's the most wanted 15.
It takes the best.
Took a bath in his own spice.
You know how to die. To catch the worst.
I got him!
Are you a cowboy too, Annie Frost?
Why don't you turn yourself in and find out?
Chase, a new series, Mondays 10/9 Central on NBC.
Can frozen biscuits be fresh biscuits?
Biscuits are best when they're frozen. That ice preserves the freshness within the biscuit. After that is taken from the freezer, put into the oven, and there the ice melts away, and that fresh state, it was like the biscuit was sleeping.
There's nothing fresh about frozen biscuits. The made-from-scratch country fried steak and gravy biscuit, smothered in sausage gravy. New at Hardee's.
Hi, I'm Cindy Sullivan. Catching a ball, tumbling about, tying shoes are things we all expect our children to be able to do. Unfortunately, some children have difficulties with these everyday tasks due to a birth defect or an accident. But thanks to support from the Louisville Scottish Rite and the Occupational Therapy Program at Cardinal Hill Rehab Center, Easter Seals of Louisville, children are learning to achieve physical independence in many areas, equipping them for the rest of their life. For information on how your child could benefit or to help, call 584-9781.
Now, there's a great way to save money on your TV, internet, and phone service. Starting at just $60 a month, you can mix and match to create an Insight triple play package that's just right for you. No matter your budget, we'll make it easy for you to find the right package at the right price. There's never been a better time to give Insight a call, so you can build your triple play package starting at just $60 a month. Call 1-877-4-INSIGHT today.
A mother who says her daughter was assaulted on a school bus talks to Wave 3 News tonight.
Opportunity, opportunity,
is knocking at your door. Opportunity knocks but once and don't come back no more. Grab it in the night, grab it in the day, grab it right now, it'll get away. You better snatch and grab it. Snatch and grab it.
Buy and sell tickets safely and securely at NFL.com Ticket Exchange. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Short drop gets jostled, has it intercepted. It's Jonathan Vilma. Favre pumping, throwing over the middle, and it's caught by Shiancoe for a touchdown. Act 2, a.k.a. second half. Superdome, New Orleans, Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrea Kramer, and Minnesota will get the ball to start in the second half after a missed New Orleans field goal attempt. Favre leading Minnesota down the field to take the lead. 3 rushing plays in the first half. Last year, in every game played in the league, no team had fewer than 4 in the first half. So it's all about Minnesota missing some people in the secondary, but really unable to capitalize except on that opening drive of 77 yards.
You know, and they've had some short series as well, so that defense has been out there taking body blows from Adrian Peterson, and especially on opening day, you wear out quicker than you do at any other point in the season.
Morstead kicks off. Second half underway, 2 yards in the end zone. Percy Harvin, and that's a great open field tackle by Courtney Roby. Let's go to the sidelines. Andrea Kramer. Andrea.
Well, Al, I asked Sean Payton about that play selection in the first half. 22 passes, only 3 runs. He said we wanted to spread ourselves out and make them play coverage. He said it'll be the same formula in the second half, although it doesn't preclude them from running. As for the Vikings, very animated going at halftime. After weathering the storm of the Saints' opening drive, Brad Childress told me we just had to recalibrate, settle down, and play our base defense.
And that is what they did, because they played brilliant defense after that opening drive, which consumed only a couple of minutes and 77 yards, 5 plays for the Saints. Peterson slanting to the outside and finding the first down marker and getting past it. So that'll move the chains. It's a gain of 13, 61 yards on the ground for the Vikings. And of course, the Saints didn't run the ball at all. Passing yards pretty close to being even, and then 1 turnover in the half by Favre on the pick, but New Orleans unable to capitalize. First down from the 32. Linestalker comes in for leverage and provides it as Peterson goes through the middle.
Well, one of the keys we knew coming in, could Brett Favre get protection? And this offensive line's done a nice job. 3-man protection there. He understands he has time to step around and look. Again, a 3-man protection. Now they finally come with a blitz, and he burns them. So anytime you have a quarterback that understands the difference when he has time and when he doesn't, it makes it tough on the D.
Peterson takes this to the 40-yard line. Just 1 hit and 1 knockdown tonight of Favre.
A little different than what it was in that championship game, wasn't it? And some of those were borderline. I mean, things like going out on the bootleg and taking shots, you know, from the guy. Some of them drew flags, and I just don't think the New Orleans Saints cared.
Pete Morelli, the referee, according to Brett, apologized to him after that high-low hit. Didn't draw a flag. 3rd and 3. Swings it to the outside, and that is incomplete. It's Berrien on the sideline, and it's Jabari Greer in his 7th year from Tennessee. Came over as a free agent from Buffalo with the coverage.
Well, going to get some tangled feet here, but it doesn't matter. This is not a foul. I'm sure everybody's screaming at home in Minnesota, but tangled feet there, that is not a penalty.
Chris Kluwe. This is his 3rd punt of the night. The 2 earlier ones were 48 and 46. This one is fielded by Bush, who runs parallel to the 20-yard line and brings it back out to the 25-yard line. 9-7 Minnesota.
What did you learn in grade school? Every day, 36 kids learn that they have cancer. Enough to fill a classroom. Over the last 12 years, Hyundai's Hope on Wheels program has raised more than $14 million to help find a cure. In fact, your local Hyundai dealer makes a donation for every car sold. Of course, you don't have to buy a Hyundai to make a difference. Just visit HyundaiHopeOnWheels.org to donate. And give a little hope, no matter what wheels you drive.
Sunday football's a tradition at our house, so we got Red Zone from the cable company. Then we found out Red Zone is just plays inside the 20.
It's not whole games, it's highlights.
Of course, Nancy got DirecTV, and now, well, it's okay. It's okay.
Only DirecTV has every minute of every game. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Ball at the 26-yard line against this Minnesota defense, that rushing defense, that great front four, allowing only 75 yards rushing a game since 06. 48 straight without allowing 150 rushing yards. This is since Childress took over. Now, Leslie Frazier, and there he is, an outstanding defensive coordinator. He's been interviewed a number of times for head coaching jobs, will eventually get one. Remember, he was the successor to Mike Tomlin. Tomlin was the defensive coordinator here in Childress' first year, and you know where that led, to the head coach at Pittsburgh and a Super Bowl 2 years later.
Yeah.
Pierre Thomas.
That's what you get when you try and run the football. We talked about the broken femur on E.J. Henderson. Doesn't look like he's slowing him too much down now. Watch it right here. Oh, nice job there. You saw that was Ray Edwards come slamming inside, picking off the offensive lineman, and then Henderson just cleaning it up.
Bush and Thomas are now both in the game. Thomas, the running back, and Reggie in the slot. And now they finally find some running room, and very close to a first down goes Thomas.
That looked familiar, Al. That's exactly what we were talking about with Brett. Taking that smoke screen out there and coming back with the draw. He's going to raise up, freeze the linebackers. They're moving backwards. Hand it to Pierre Thomas.
You can't copyright a playbook.
Jared Allen's going to think it's coming. He jumps up in the air. And there's no way he gets back into the play.
That was enough for a first down. The ball is at the 36. Bush is the back. They'll give it to him. Reggie with some stutter step moves. Gain of 6. You all know about Reggie Bush if you follow football because of what happened when he was at USC. It took the NCAA a long time to decide that what he did was illegal enough in terms of what the NCAA is going to allow, so that USC winds up banned from postseason play for 2 years. 30 scholarships over 3 years they will lose. They're on probation for 4 years. It led to Mike Garrett leaving as the athletic director after a long tenure, and the ascension of Pat Hayden as the new athletic director. So for Reggie Bush, this is something that's been talked about and will continue to be talked about. And Thomas is through the middle. The question this week is, did the Heisman committee try to take the Heisman Trophy away from Bush? Andrea with more on that.
Well, Al, there's a lot of speculation, but the Heisman Trust started its own investigation after the NCAA issued its report, and the 8-member Board of Trustees will determine Bush's fate at their monthly meeting, which is expected to be on Tuesday. Majority rules it'll only take 5 votes to revoke the Heisman, but Al, the ballot's clear. Recipients must be in compliance with the bylaws. Being a student athlete, Reggie wasn't eligible in 2005.
All right, Andrea, as Lance Moore loses his helmet, makes the catch. That is a couple of words with Greenway. And there are a lot of people who think that Bush should just end it by giving the Heisman Trophy back. USC took the replica of the Heisman Trophy and sent it back to the Heisman Committee.
Yeah, we talked to him a little bit about it, and obviously he was upset. He was embarrassed about what he did to his university and upset, and he got in trouble. Sometimes past associations can come back to haunt you if you're not willing to break them.
That is the truth. 2nd and 1. And now Thomas. So all of a sudden, New Orleans not running the ball at all. And now this drive, they keep moving the chains because of the run. First down.
These 2 guards for the Saints are just outstanding. Carl Nix is right there. And on the other side, Jari Evans, who just got a $50 million deal. These 2 guys in there battling against the Williams wall, Pat Williams and Kevin Williams. And I know you have to be a football junkie to not watch the football, but if you want to see some good action, watch these 2 guards against those 2 great defensive tackles.
Very dramatic right there from the 37. Off the fake. They chase him and get him, and from behind, that's a great tackle by Ray Edwards for the sack. Edwards chasing Brees and able to reach out and grab him around the ankles and gets the sack.
That was kind of a bizarre play. It was like a naked run here. They fake it, but he tucks it away right away, almost like a college kind of play. And Asher Allen was right there in his face, and that one went nowhere. Why you don't have Drew Brees in a position where he could throw it, I'm not real sure.
Now our buddies of the Elias Sports Bureau can look at that and go, was he running or was he passing?
I thought it was a run all the way.
That'll take a sack away from Edwards. That'll be reviewed this week. It'll be a tackle for loss, and you got 4 flags.
Defense number 91, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalties, 2nd down.
There's Edwards.
Well, you're going to see once again, this time Brees doesn't get called for this. You set that up and you set that up and you set that up. He's probably done it that way 10, 15 times in a row, and then when you need it, you call on it.
2nd and 8. Under 8.5 to go. 3rd quarter. Vikings nearly jump. But Williams will. Pat and Kevin in the middle. And Greenway backs off after faking the blitz. And the pass is caught by Colston. First down to the 21-yard line.
Well, just like Peyton Manning, the reason that Drew Brees does this, and all the great quarterbacks do, is when you go this hard count, you end up showing what your coverage is. He saw them backing off there, so now he knows just throw a zone pass. And even though Greenway comes in and fakes it, Brees says, you're not fooling me. I saw what you did. When you thought the snap count was coming, you backed up. He knew exactly where to go.
Brees wins that chest match. The ball is at the 21-yard line. And he'll swing this one out in the flat to Pierre Thomas. And Thomas will take the ball inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first down and goal.
Did you hear that time, Al? That kill call? What they do is they call 2 plays in the huddle, and the live one is the first one, and if Brees doesn't like it, he kills it to the second one.
Kill. 5-6, ready.
Then they come in with the pick from the outside, and they free Pierre Thomas. Just a brilliant call there. I think that was Heath Evans that came down on the pick play, and they got away with it.
This is the 10th play of the drive. And Thomas has enough room to get the ball to the 1-yard line. And on those 10 plays, the Saints have run the ball 6 of them.
How about my man Carl Nix once again? We talked about these great guards inside. Coming down, just driving that whole thing all the way down that time against Pat Williams. Had the angle. He should be able to make that block. Impressive drive so far.
Thomas behind Evans, a yard away from taking the lead. And Thomas is able to lunge into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
Well, you talk about putting guys in the Pro Bowl. Check this one out right here. Carl Nix. Goodbye, everybody. Nice job by Heath Evans as well. It's just going to drive that block down inside there, and Heath Evans came in and cleaned up Greenway with a great block as well. Nix knows it. He had a lot to do with that one. Stick your hands in the air, big guy.
That's an 11-play drive, and they never got to third down. The point after is good with 6:13 remaining in the third quarter. New Orleans 14 and the Vikings 9.
It's time for the Bud Light Playbook. Today, how to make the ultimate tailgate car.
Hey, man, come on. You run out of gas?
Actually, there is no gas tank. Behold, the ultimate tailgate car. I replaced the gas tank with a keg of Bud Light. Here we go. The heater doubles as a popcorn popper. Since we don't have gas, we don't need an engine. Your grill is a grill.
There's no junk in that trunk. Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets, all white meat seasoned with peppers and savory spices.
So cool. I mean hot.
Wendy's classic frosty, made with rich cream and 100% real cocoa.
So hot. I mean cool.
Each only 99 cents for a short time.
So nice.
Most car commercials tell you what to think. In this one, people told us what they think about Hyundai, uncensored.
Nice.
Dang.
I like this one a lot.
It passed my test. I want this car. What kind of car is it?
Hyundai. Hyundai, like Sunday.
That's right, Hyundai like Sunday.
You got it. Now get one. Like the 2010 Genesis. It comes with Hyundai Assurance, including America's best warranty. And now, for a limited time, you can lease the 2010 Genesis for just $399 a month at your local Hyundai dealer.
Next Thursday, don't be late.
Are we ready?
It's the ultimate second chance.
Good luck.
The Apprentice 2-hour premiere, next Thursday, 9/8 Central on NBC.
Our kickoff special being brought to you by DirecTV. Watch your favorite team wherever you live, only on DirecTV. By Hyundai, maker of the 2010 Genesis, the vehicle that does everything better. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Sprint, the Now Network. And that's really, it's a beautiful sight. Trombone Shorty and everything around New Orleans, Grandpa Elliott. I mean, this was a city, without exaggeration, that we all know was almost wiped off the map in August of '05. And forget about the football team. That was small potatoes. They, of course, spent the whole season playing in San Antonio and Baton Rouge. Percy Harvin up to the 16 in it. The history of sports, I can't think of a parallel. 5 years later, they celebrate a championship, and they have a 5-point lead in the third quarter.
Every day, 36 kids learn that they have cancer. Over the last 12 years, Hyundai's Hope on Wheels program has raised more than $14 million to help find a cure. In fact, your local Hyundai dealer makes a donation for every car sold. Of course, you don't have to buy a Hyundai to make a difference. Just visit HyundaiHopeOnWheels.org to donate and give a little hope, no matter what wheels you drive.
Who wants to play a quick game of Madden? So who wants a copy of Madden?
Madden NFL 11, rated E for everyone.
PlayStation.
First is the first 4G phone. First is live video chat on the go. So you can be face to face, even when you can't be. Whether you're on 4G, 3G, and of course, Wi-Fi. First lets you stream live video to the web in 3, 2, 1. What will you do first with Evo, the first 4G phone? Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
In just a couple more Thursdays, Betty White blows into Community. And Matt Damon, well, he's looking good on 30 Rock.
Are you a doorman?
Yeah, I'm a doorman. To the sky. I'm a pilot.
Community starts at 8, 7 Central, now followed by 30 Rock. Thursday in 2 weeks on NBC.
Well, we're told no one lives the thrill of a chase more than U.S. Marshal Annie Frost. Jerry Bruckheimer is the executive producer. The new series is Chase, and you'll see it Monday nights right here on NBC. Superdome. Their team up by 5. Ball is at the 16-yard line as the Vikings begin this drive. And Peterson can barely get out of the backfield. Jonathan Vilma, who had the interception before, makes the tackle. That Saint defense last postseason. Arizona came in with Warner, 2 takeaways. Of course, the game against the Vikings with Favre, 5 takeaways. And then in the Super Bowl, 9 hits on Peyton Manning. The 1 takeaway was the interception by Porter that wrapped up the game, turned a 7-point lead into a 14-point lead. And you take a look at those 3 guys, you know 2 of them for sure are going to the Hall of Fame, and Warner should. 2nd and 10. Ball is at the 16-yard line. And Favre throwing for Harvin, and is it picked off inbounds? No, it's not. Malcolm Jenkins jumps up, makes the catch, but comes down out of bounds, so it's incomplete only.
You want to feel good about the season right now. Malcolm Jenkins just showed he can make a play. Remember, he took over for Darren Sharper, who only had 9 interceptions, 3 of those for touchdowns. Big questions about whether this defense would drop off with Malcolm Jenkins in there. And Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, told us no way. He went out to Ohio State, scouted him, talked to him, said, I know he can play the position. He's done a great job.
3rd and 10. Favre throwing, and that's low and incomplete. That one's intended for Greg Lewis. First time he's looked Lewis's way tonight. And there is Darren Sharper. We talked about him. He's on the physically unable to perform list, but can come back after 6 weeks.
Well, and now with the lead, the Saints are feeling a little more confident, bringing pressure. And one of the reasons they're feeling confident is these corners are winning the battle against the wide receivers on the outside.
Chris Kluwe. Bush. It's a 46-yard kick. And Bush can get out of his own tracks, but finally at the end, all kinds of coverage on the play, and that's Heath Farwell, who went to the Pro Bowl last year, making the tackle.
Cold symptoms tackled. Quarterback sacked. Vicks NyQuil Cold and Flu. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold medicine.
If somebody ever says they can tell you the secret of success, they'll notice you're wearing these and say, oh, looks like you already know it. Slim khakis from Dockers at Kohl's. Wear the pants.
Gordon Gekko was one of the biggest names on Wall Street before he went to prison.
That name doesn't mean anything anymore.
Mr. Gekko, my name's Jacob Moore. I'm gonna marry your daughter.
Why don't you start calling me Gordon? I think you want to be part of the family business. It's easy to get in, it's hard to get out.
Is that a threat?
Absolutely.
He's not who you think he is. He'll hurt us.
He screwed me. Shocker. You tell him for me, babe, Gordon Gekko is back.
Wall Street, money never sleeps. Rated PG-13.
So, what are you packing for our little trip?
I'm
I like my job. Undercovers, a new series, Wednesdays 8/7 Central on NBC.
Who can forget that sight in the Super Bowl? There is Baylin Brees, mother Brittany, and she's pregnant. The Brees' second child will be coming along very shortly, wearing those noise reducers, the headphones, at the Super Bowl, and it made the cover of Sports Illustrated. I mean, it was just a classic picture, and something that Baylin can look at as he grows older, and it will be an iconic picture and a symbol of what they pulled off. Here's Thomas on the screen, and he gets taken down here for the gain of 3. You know how wacky this world is, Chris? So here's Brees. He's got the 1.5-year-old and a baby on the way. His opposite number tonight, Brett Favre. Brett, when the game is over, will get in the car. He will drive back to Hattiesburg because they don't have to play until a week from Sunday. And tomorrow, he will go to the christening of his grandson. Parker Brett is being christened in Hattiesburg tomorrow. Grandpa, congratulations.
You know, some of the guys he's playing with were babies when he came into the league, too.
Yes, they were. Second down and 8 from the 33-yard line. And Brees slips this one to the outside. Another great tackle there so that Bush can't escape, and that's Jamarcus Sanford making the stop.
Now, they really had to do just so much back there in the secondary, trying to just make do for a little while. Cedric Griffin, their corner, who played so well a season ago, 4 interceptions. He's out with a knee. They think he's close. Chris Cook, their #1 draft pick, he's out with a knee. So basically tonight they're playing safeties at corner-like positions, which is why the Saints keep spreading everything out.
To correct that tackle call, that was Hussein Abdullah who got the start tonight, who makes the stop. And that's a story in and of itself as well. 3rd down and 7. And that's caught, and that's Lieber making the tackle on Robert Meacham. So the Vikings hold, and it will be 4th down and 6.
Well, that time the Vikings come with blitz here and blitz over here, and basically all they're doing, though, is bringing 5. It feels like about 7 guys are coming, but that's the whole zone blitz concept. You show 7, you drop 2 out, and he really had time to make that throw.
Morstead's kick is end over end and fairly short, and fielded at the 26-yard line by Bernard Berrien, who takes it back to the 31 and is a little shaken. 2:56 left in the 3rd. Saints by 5.
I don't play fantasy football. I play for real football. It takes a lot of hard work, a pinch of luck, body muscles, some salt, and this, Old Spice, Swagger Body Wash. It's like a fantasy, only it's real. Ah!
Every time I think about you, baby, it's like a movie in my head that drives me crazy.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. The just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the good time lime. Bud Light Lime.
Dreaming again.
AT&T and BlackBerry have teamed up to keep your business moving. Introducing the BlackBerry Torch. AT&T. Rethink possible.
It's going to be hard to find them.
That's why God created the U.S. Marshals.
There's nothing like a good game of chase.
It's hide and seek, only with guns.
Chase, a new series, Mondays 10/9 Central on NBC.
There's Jonathan Vilma, who really is the Drew Brees of this defense. In the Super Bowl, he checked off 60% of the plays in that game against Peyton Manning. And his line to Greg Williams, the offensive coordinator, after the game was, "I out-checked the checker in this one, Coach."
the defensive coordinator. So Vilma had a fabulous day going against the master, and now this is Peterson. Some nifty running to the 38-yard line. Go back to Jonathan Vilma and his performance in this game last year.
You'll see Jonathan in the middle here, a strange formation. He ends up checking to a cover 2, and this is going to lead to the interception. Tracy Porter comes across the field. Favre's going to roll away, but there's no receiver over here, so Tracy Porter's freed up. We talked to Tracy. He said he's not going to throw it. He's not going to throw it. He threw it. He couldn't believe it, and there he sat.
Second down and 4. Favre, can he escape? No, he cannot. Cedric Ellis got enough of his shirt to take him to the ground.
Well, Cedric Ellis is having a pretty good game. I'm not so sure they weren't trying to set up a screen there, but he deserves a little credit. He's been making plays all day long. They've been playing him right on the nose here, probably because of John Sullivan's injury. Getting double teams, just going to break through. You can see it looked like they were trying to set up a screen, but the Saints had it covered, and Brett just had to eat it.
Less than 2 minutes remaining. Third quarter. Favre on 3rd and 13. And again, they stack the backs in the gun. He gets extra protection, but it cannot pay off. He tries to hit Harvin over the middle. Harper on the coverage, and they'll punt again.
He cannot figure out Percy Harvin, and that's on Percy Harvin right there. It was man-to-man coverage. Percy's got to break that across the face. Those are the reads you have to make as a wide receiver in this league. When you see man coverage, you don't shut it down. Brett expected him to keep going. Percy, for the second time tonight, stopped, and he fooled Brett.
Here's Kluwe's kick. And he angles that one to the sideline. And then it will be downed at the 27-yard line. In the history of the NFL, a lot of great coach-quarterback combinations. Minimum 50 games since 1950. You had Young and Seifert averaging 27.5. Dan Fouts and Don Coryell, Air Coryell, that's 27.5, second highest. And then third would be Drew Brees and Sean Payton with the highest at 27.9 points per game.
It was interesting talking about how Sean Payton recruited Drew Brees here. We'll get into that in a minute.
From the 26-yard line. And this is Thomas. And we can start that story, Chris, by talking about the fact you forget Drew Brees was a very good quarterback in San Diego. Then they get Phillip Rivers, so they have to make a choice. You can't have them both. So Rivers is going to be the guy. That makes Brees a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent, and really only 2 teams showed any interest at all, the Miami Dolphins and New Orleans Saints. He goes down to Miami. They put him through this battery of tests and 6 hours and an MRI machine and all these kinds of things. He came to New Orleans, and they just said, we want you. We know you're going to be great. We know you're going to be healthy. You're going to be the man here in New Orleans, and he just felt more confident here.
And the big issue, of course, is he was coming off shoulder surgery, and he launches this one, and it is Colston who can't hang on. Would have been close, whether he would have been in bounds anyway. And Brad Childress goes over to Pat Allen and Abdullah on the back and say, good job, 3rd and 9.
Well, once again, they're going to test the safeties down the field here. Hussein Abdullah got there a little bit late, but it was Asher Allen who was there just enough to knock that football out. That looked like it was going to be a completion. Good play by Asher Allen. They clearly have sort of targeted Hussein Abdullah, who's not a really fast guy, but he's a guy that they say has such a better feel for the game than a couple of their other safeties, Tyrell Johnson and Jamarcus Sanford, that they just felt like that he was the better fit.
And Abdullah, a great story, and it's been chronicled a number of outlets because of his Islamic faith. He observed Ramadan, which ended tonight at sunset, and that meant that during the day he could not even drink water. So he goes through training camp, can't drink water, and tonight the sun went down in New Orleans at 7:13. So at 7:13, or about 23 minutes before kickoff, he could then eat again, and certainly he could drink water again. And he said, I wasn't going to eat a big meal, you know, maybe I'd have a banana or so. But here's a guy going through training camp without food or water.
He's a remarkable young man. I can tell you, after having gone through many a two-a-days, I would have said that's impossible to do.
Me too. And his brother plays in the league too, and he did it. 3rd and 9. And Brees throws, and that's incomplete. Going to the ground is Lance Moore. He's trying to plead his case, and the head linesman comes over and says, no, I've been to the rodeo before.
Now, that was really interesting. The umpire typically makes this call from right over the center, but now the umpire is all the way back behind the quarterback, and you could see the confusion as to whether or not they were going to call it a completion or not. The umpire comes sprinting up from all the way in the back, doing his old job, and made the right call.
Of course, the umpire now on the offensive side, except in the last 2 minutes of a half and 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and when the ball is inside the 5-yard line. Morstead to kick. Very high. Bearcats call for flag thrown. Berrien collects it at the 26-yard line. Call by McCauley.
Caps off. Somebody ran out of bounds.
Yep. Offsetting here. So 1 each way.
There are 2 fouls in the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense. The flyer went out of bounds, did not immediately return. Holding, receiving team number 92. The penalties offset, 4th down.
And back we go to kick again. Let's take a look at this umpire package we put together.
There you go. That's where the umpire lined up in behind the defense. And now they've moved him over behind the offense. He's 12 yards back. Initially, they started, I think, 15 yards back. They moved him a little closer, but now it's up to the quarterback to look out to either the line judge or the head linesman to figure out when it's legal for him to snap the football. So there's a few change in mechanics for referees and umpires and quarterbacks this year.
And of course, it really affects a team like Indianapolis trying to run the no huddle, and it did in the preseason game. Fair catch there by Berrien at the 23-yard line. On Sunday night, we're heading right to D.C. Tony Romo and the Cowboys, Donovan McNabb and the Redskins. It's the beginning of the Mike Shanahan era.
Receiving team number 37. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Holding call. That's going to cost him 10 more on Eric Frampton. But what a way to wrap up our first week. This game and then Redskins Cowboys. What an intriguing game that is going to be.
Well, bold moves again by the Washington Redskins, no question about that. And Donovan, I think, maybe as much as anything, is going to add some confidence, just a little swagger, add a little fun to the locker room, and that's a franchise that needs it.
So the ball now is back at the 13-yard line after the offsetting fouls, and then the kick and the penalty on the Vikings. Waning moments of the third quarter. And Adrian Peterson will take us to double zeros as he brings it out to the 16-yard line. Tackled there by Roman Harper. So we played 45 minutes on opening night. New Orleans 14. Minnesota 9. And this NBC NFL kickoff special from New Orleans resumes after these messages.
This Wednesday, 2 reasons to break out the confetti. Got Talent crowns a new winner live. You're the star. And Jimmy Smits is back on NBC. The Got Talent live finale, followed by the Outlaw preview. This Wednesday, 8/7 Central on NBC.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Wow.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
taste of Diet Mountain Dew's a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
Friday's Mega Millions, 34 million. Saturday's Powerball, 79 million.
Download the Wave 3 News app and get local news, weather, and more on your Droid phone.
For just $2, you can get a warm, tasty breakfast flatbread like the double bacon, egg, and cheese or Western egg and cheese. Customize any sandwich with your choice of veggies, and you've got the best breakfast in town for just $2.
Subway, eat fresh.
When Medicare closed its door to patients needing care, Rand Paul opened his. Rand founded the Southern Kentucky Lions Eye Clinic to provide for those in need. Awarded for his service, Rand always puts patients first. That's why he opposes the Obama-Pelosi healthcare scheme, which puts Washington bureaucrats in charge, destroying the doctor-patient relationship, preserving sight, caring for Kentucky. Dr. Rand Paul.
I'm Rand Paul. I'm a physician, not a career politician, and I approve this message.
I'm Jean West. Join me for Wave 3 New Sunrise tomorrow morning.
Fourth quarter, New Orleans. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrea Kramer on opening night. That same offense, they've owned the fourth quarter. 91 points outscoring their opponents in the fourth quarter, and in the Super Bowl, they came from behind to beat Indianapolis by outscoring the Colts 15-0 in the fourth. So we start the fourth. Saints up by 5. Favre throws into traffic and has it knocked away. That's Harper right there, banging it away from Shiancoe, trying to get free over the middle, 3rd and 7.
Well, if you've been wondering what happened to Visanthe Shiancoe in the second half, it's number 41, Roman Harper. They have made a switch. They started this half with Shiancoe split wide. Roman Harper went out on him, and they basically were playing the run. That's all well and good as long as Roman Harper, a Pro Bowler, can cover Shiancoe. He's done a beautiful job so far.
Saints adjustments working to the point that Favre in the second half is 0 for 5. He was 11 for 15 in the first half. Under pressure again, and that pass is deflected, and somehow that is Klein saucer, and one official will overrule the other. Had a better look at it and said it's incomplete because you had Roman Harper and Alex Brown converging to hit Favre as he got rid of it.
Old Dr. Heat brought some here, and then you'll see the linebackers going this way. And somehow Brett got close on this one. This is one of those floaters that more often than not, and good call by the officials, end up more trouble than good. He got his hands underneath it. Those bouncing balls, they don't usually give you credit for them, though.
So Brett still hasn't completed a pass in this half. And now Bush will go back. A couple of years ago, Bush ran back 2 punts for touchdowns in a game against Minnesota.
He might challenge it, huh? Yep. He did have his hands underneath it. There was a bounce, but then the question becomes, did he catch it off the bounce?
Minnesota is challenged that the pass was complete. Timeout.
Okay, we'll take a peek at this one. Did he come up with it or not? I don't think so.
Over a century ago, Gottlieb Daimler wrote 4 words that were a promise to himself and to the world. A promise to invent the first automobile and to keep reinventing it. To build the type of cars that define true performance while never sacrificing their true beauty. And to introduce innovations that help save lives and the planet. 4 simple words Mercedes-Benz lives by to this day. The best or nothing. That is what drives us.
See them boys? They got DirecTV. Been watching the Eagles game on their phones and laptops since they got here. No respect for their surroundings.
Ma'am?
Be right there, Shug. Here you go, fellas.
Only DirecTV lets you watch your game wherever you go. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Good news, sir. I just got an email from the office, and word is people really love our claim service, especially the Auto Repair Express. Repairs are fast and they're guaranteed for as long as you own your car.
Hey, that's great. Is this your phone?
Yeah, of course.
But where do you put... I mean, How do you carry?
Here you go.
Thanks.
No, I got it, sir.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Who wants some man meat?
I do. I want some man meat.
Well, Dwight, ask and ye shall receive.
Your name is Man Meat?
Yes, man meat. This must be hard to chat on the internet with a name like Man Meat.
Outsourced now follows The Office. Delicious. Thursdays on NBC.
All right, we're back, and this is about as close as it's going to get. I thought it was incomplete because I thought it hit the ground. But what you have here is one official saying it's complete. The other official comes in and he says incomplete. The second official overrules the first official. So the call on the field is incomplete. Here's McCauley.
The ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass. Fourth down. Minnesota's charged with their first timeout.
That is about as close as you can get.
Well, you know, Al, I'm not so sure if this had been called complete. Possibly they leave it. I mean, because really there were not only that one, but then you had to worry about the second bounce when it came up. And I think that the league now is trying to move towards, it has to be so conclusive to overturn, they'd want to leave these alone.
But the interesting thing about that is you had the play called two ways on the field. Now the second ruling overrules the first. Had it been reversed, you might have seen that play stand. Here's Bush to the 39. In other words, if the first official would have said incomplete and the second said complete, then that might have stood because that play was that close on the replay.
I think if you have 5 officials say complete and 1 say incomplete, they're still going to rule incomplete, though, right?
Again, it's overturning the play, and the ruling once again, you'll see the first official will come in and he will say it's a good catch.
Right.
Then the second one comes in and says no. So the second one has the authority to overrule here. And again, you've got the left tackle, Bryant McKinney, going back to the locker room as the Saints take over. And this is Thomas. And I think it was inconclusive to overrule, but it works both ways because if the ruling on the field had been complete, I think that would have been inconclusive to overrule complete. Anyway,
very well
there you have it.
I think you ought to teach a clinic on this stuff.
No,
man.
thank you. No, I got other stuff to do here.
Brett could do the quarterback clinic along with Drew, and you could do the rules.
Right.
Be good.
Freddie and Drew will do the 3 technique. Take a look at how the play selection is evened out here in the second half. 2nd and 4 from the 46-yard line. Brees throws. Colston has the ball in Minnesota territory at the 45-yard line. E.J. Henderson makes the tackle.
Yeah, I always enjoy watching Marques Colston play. Here's a guy that was a 7th-round draft pick, and over the last 4 years, he's caught 285 balls, most for anybody drafted later than the 4th round. And that's his play right there. He's a big guy. He's inside. He works those underneath zones. I bet you Brett would like to have him over there right now.
A lot of quarterbacks would like to have him right now. From the 44. Exploiting that hole is Thomas. He gets taken down by Winfield. Pierre Thomas, who will be the workhorse running back this year. Last year, the most carries were by Mike Bell, who's now in Philadelphia.
Good cutback that time. Watch my man Bushrod come down here and wipe this down. Good patient running by Pierre Thomas. Everybody wants to know what a guy's 40-yard dash time is. Has nothing to do with it at running back. There's a guy about a 4.65 guy. Patience, understanding what they're trying to do to him, making plays.
2nd and 3.
Right 5-6. Ready, 30%.
Thomas again. And Pierre to the 34-yard line, and that'll move the change with 12.5 minutes left in the 4th.
I tell you, this is surprising, isn't it? I mean, it looked like that the plan was going to be just come out and throw the football, take advantage of the depleted secondary, and all of a sudden here in the second half, the world champions have said, hey, it's time to defend the turf, and they're pounding it out, one of the best run defenses in the NFL.
Thomas has carried the ball 12 times, 47 yards, so that's 4 yards a clip. Carry number 13, and that's maybe 1. Pat Williams. You know, we talked about Brees before and how he might have wound up in Miami and winds up here, and it's really the only major offer he gets. He came with Sean Payton. I mean, Payton's here first. Payton recruits Brees. Sean wanted the Green Bay job. He wanted that job. And then New Orleans was also in the mix, and he was called by the Packers, and they gave the job to Mike McCarthy. Otherwise, he's there.
Well, you think about what you're coming in and looking at in New Orleans at that time 4 years ago, and you're going, I'm bringing my family into what was a pretty tough situation.
Right.
So a lot of people were looking elsewhere.
And Green Bay was a better football team. 2nd and 9, and that pass is caught at the 16-yard line, and trying to get a push-off call is Williams, but he won't get it. Jeremy Shockey making the catch.
I thought it was a push-off, too, I have to tell you. Jeremy Shockey against Mediu Williams on the outside. Well, Mediu gave him a little push, too, so I think the officials got that right. From the other angle, it looked like just the opposite. Here it looks like Mediu's doing the chicken fighting, and the other one it looked like Shockey was. He's playing football.
Gain of 14.
Like 5-6.
From the 18 now. And running to the strong side, but getting nowhere is Pierre Thomas. Pat Williams in his 14th season in the league. Part of the Williams wall, the unrelated Williams. Pat.
The big
and
guy.
Kevin.
Right here. This is his last year, too. He's going out with Brett. And that's what he's done for a long time in this league. 3 Pro Bowls. You got to move the wall if you're going to run it inside against the Vikings. He comes out when it becomes a passing down.
Well, he may be going out, but how do you know Brett will?
Yeah, that's a good point.
2nd and 9. We'll believe it when we see it. And that catch was made by David Thomas just inside the 15-yard line. That's going to set up a key 3rd down and 6, a drive obviously that New Orleans wants to have culminate with a touchdown, because a field goal would make it an 8-point game and a 1-possession lead.
Yeah, one of those you can point to certain plays in a ball game as the deciding factors, and here we are with one.
Key 3rd and 6. The back is Bush. Brees to the corner of the end zone, and reaching up and not being able to come down with it is Robert Meacham. Couldn't hang inbounds. Threw it over Asher Allen. He was beaten, but Meacham can't come down with the ball in the end zone.
Oh, it did come down. It would have been a completion. He got the knee down, which was all he needed. See that knee hit? If he had caught it, that would have been a touchdown.
Couldn't get possession. Garrett Hartley now. This will be a 32-yard attempt. Missed one from 46 earlier. And this one is no good. He missed that one.
Maybe he needs more pressure.
Hooked that one deep into the rough. 14-9 it remains.
Doc, I just got your email. I'm out for the season?
Don't worry about that. I switched to Sprint's $69.99 plan, so I get unlimited emails.
What does that mean?
It means I'm dropping you for my fantasy team, that's for sure.
What does that mean about my knee?
Oh, your knee's totally shattered. You see how hard that guy hit you?
I don't want to see...
Hey, relax. Not costing me any extra.
Only Sprint gives you unlimited text, web, and calling to any mobile for just $69.99. Sprint, the Now Network.
It's a universal gesture. A way of telling the world you did it without saying a word. Introducing the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. The best or nothing. That is what drives us.
It's time for the Bud Light Playbook. Today, how to work the weekend without missing the game.
What's happening? Since we're stuck here working the weekend, I hooked up the projector to show the game. And I brought in some Bud Light.
Excellent job.
Are they hiring? Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Being undercover, it's got a few perks.
I like my job.
You are not Dick and Jane living on Main Street.
Undercovers, a new series, Wednesdays 8/7 Central on NBC.
You saw Brian McKinney go out to the right tackle. Loadholt now goes to left tackle. And the backup right tackle, Ryan Cook, comes in at right tackle. So the revamped offensive line with 9 minutes to go in the fourth. And this drive beginning at the 22 after the missed field goal. Spinorama for Favre, and then for Shiancoe over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Threw it into a triangle of defenders. Let's go to Andrea for the report of McKinney.
Yeah, Al, they took Brian McKinney in the locker room with a finger injury, which they're calling his return questionable. I was watching them manipulate his fingers on the sideline, and he was grimacing pretty badly.
And that's why McKinney is out of the game, and so Loadholt did a good job as a rookie last year on the right side. Favre, meanwhile, in this half, Brett is 0 for 7. This is their 5th possession. The first 4 have all ended with punts, and 3 of them on 3 and outs. Over the middle, it's a short game. Gets the ball into the hands of Jim Kleinsaucer, now in his 12th year in the league, and all of those with the Vikings.
Well, and they basically have taken away Shiancoe, and now Brett has no faith in anybody else to go make a play for him. The one thing about Ryan Cook, he was the right tackle, so it's not like he hasn't played that position before Loadholt took his place, so he does have experience at that right tackle. This defense needs a rest, too.
Third and 5. Favre with 4 wides. To the left side he goes, and that's caught, and reaching up and making the catch is Greg Camarillo, who was recently acquired from Miami in the trade that sent Benny Sapp to the Dolphins. Chris was talking about him earlier, normally operating out of the slot, a Welker type, and a 29-yard huge catch for Minnesota.
He's a pro. He's not fast. He set up the defensive back, and Brett knew exactly what he was doing. He never looked at anybody else. He was, once Camarillo got in the game, just like he did in those preseason games, he went right to him. I have just been stunned he hasn't been in more.
Had Camarillo lined up initially in the slot, then Berrien went behind him, and they ran out of the stack, and he gets free on the sideline. Peterson, meanwhile, is split this time wide to the right. Favre is able to shovel it. Chest pass, and a flag is down as he throws it into the arms of Tommy.
Holding, offense number 71, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that's Loadholt now playing left tackle.
Well, one of the tough things when you're playing against Will Smith and he tries to rip underneath you, Loadholt just basically grabbed him by the shoulder pad there, and that's an easy call. Will Smith, 13 sacks on the year a season ago, far and away the best pass rusher on this Saints team.
First and 20 now, up at the 47-yard line. Brett escaping. Oh, baby. And then Peterson is the safety valve. Dell came in and put the pressure on Favre, and that's complete, but for a loss of 3.
Well, he wanted to come on the backside to Bernard Berrien, but Tracy Porter ate him up, and then Brett didn't feel comfortable. You see how far inside Porter is in that man coverage. And Brett had to pull off of it, and he was lucky that one wasn't picked.
Six and a half minutes to play. Second and 23. Good protection this time. And he gets the ball into the hands of Greg Lewis, but they have a lot of ground to make up. That's only to the 44-yard line. And that'll make it 3rd and 11, a gain of 12 on that play.
Phil Loadholt's having a rough time over here with Will Smith. Brett did a great job just buying enough time and then threw it all the way back across his body. Watch him just figure out a way to get that pass off, and then pure arm strength. His body may be dying, but that arm is still lively.
3rd and 11. They have to get to the 33-yard line.
Oh, they got a blitz coming here.
And Favre hangs in, and that pass going to the ground. Does he make the catch? No. Camarillo this time stretching out, almost coming up with it, but it hits the ground and it's 4th down. And the Vikings look over to the bench and say, now what?
Wow, that was pretty close too. Camarillo almost made a diving play here. He got on the ground.
Nope.
Brett just overstretched that one just a little bit, or he would have had his first down. Again, it's a timing issue. These guys haven't worked together, and you can just see it out there.
There's a bouncing snap. Louis able to come up with it. He short hops it, and then the kick bounds back and he's down at about the 12-yard line. They'll go to work on the clock with 5.5 to go. 14-9 Saints.
It's a universal gesture. A way of telling the world you did it without saying a word. Introducing the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. The best or nothing. That is what drives us.
Credit card rewards are always good in theory.
Sometimes I would get rewards, sometimes I wouldn't.
There's one card I had, there were all these rules and restrictions.
Oh, and limits.
Forget about it.
But I love this card.
Bank AmeriCard, cash rewards credit card.
1% cash back on everything I buy, period.
No limit to the amount of cash back I can get.
No hoops to jump through.
Simple.
The refreshingly simple Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards credit card. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Son?
Yeah?
Your report card came in the mail today.
Uh-oh.
Top of the class.
Phew.
Come on, let's go for McDonald's.
Yes.
Hold on.
Whoa. Nice.
There's always an extra fry at the bottom.
Well, that's what it was all about for the Saints last year, and the way it ended, that classic shot with Brees and his son. Some souvenirs from Miami, and then of course the Mardi Gras, and that's a classic shot right there. And the plane on the way back, Drew Brees and the Lombardi Trophy. It was Sean Payton and the Lombardi Trophy. You saw Brees at the top, Sean and the Lombardi Trophy, and of course he talked about the fact that he'd heard that Mike Tomlin had gone to sleep with it after they won it. And this is Colston to the 15-yard line. Tackled there by Asher Allen. Of course, the team is owned and has been for a lot of years now by Tom Benson and his granddaughter, Rita Benson LeBlanc, helping to run this team. His wife, Gail, is there. When Tom bought the team, they weren't very good, kind of lovable losers, but every once in a while he'd bring that umbrella out and do that dance when they'd win a game, which wasn't with great frequency. To the 21-yard line, Pierre Thomas.
Pierre Thomas has really just found a way to make it work. Jari Evans inside. We talk about these guards all the time. Here's Jari Evans right here now. Finds a way to get big Pat Williams out of there just enough to set up this 3rd and short. It's been a fist fight inside between these two guards and two defensive tackles.
Saints are only 1 of 8 on 3rd down. This is a big one. They can take a lot of time off the clock, and they'll be able to do it as the pass is caught by Heath Evans. And so when you do that, you force the other team into a situation. Either they got to use their timeout, so you're going to take almost all of the 40-second clock away.
Watch Antoine Winfield get fooled. He thinks it's a run. Heath Evans runs right by him. Pick up the first down. What a great call by Sean Payton. That's the kind of guts this guy has. Who'll ever forget the onside kick to start the second half? When I first saw him for this game, I said, you're out of your mind making that call. They would have your entire life used that against them. That didn't work. And of course, he's Super Bowl champ now.
Thomas, I mean, that's one of the great calls in football history when you consider what was at stake, and it turned the game in New Orleans' favor. But that's the great thing about sports. I mean, it took about a minute for them to figure out who had the ball. If you have the ball, you're a genius. If the other team has the ball, you're a moron.
Here we go to work once again. Carl Nix, number 77, coming down, just wiping them down. That's really all they've been doing so far is just this cutback run play. They've been using that big guy's leverage against them and just sort of wiping them down.
2nd and 5. He's milked that play clock. And now does Minnesota want to use a timeout here? They only have 2 plus the 2-minute warning, and the reason they lost that one timeout was the challenge that did not go their way. And Childress opting to let Brees take this clock down to about 2:10 and run the play.
Be interesting to see if Leslie Frazier has enough confidence in these corners to try and blitz. If you blitz, you have to play man coverage.
3rd and 7. Nope. Stepping up. Catch is made. First down is made. As the catch is made by Devery Henderson. And that is big, big, big.
Yep. No blitz call at all. One with the 4-man rush, and they pick it up.
And now Minnesota takes a timeout with 2:05 remaining. 14-9 New Orleans.
One look can turn the everyday into romantic. An accidental touch can turn ordinary into something more. Moments can change anytime, just like that. And when they do, men with erectile dysfunction can be more confident in their ability to be ready with Cialis for daily use. Cialis for daily use is a clinically proven low-dose tablet you take every day, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity.
Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure.
Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Ask your doctor if Cialis for daily use is right for you. For a 30-tablet free trial offer, go to Cialis.com.
Over a century ago, Gottlieb Daimler wrote 4 words that were a promise to himself and to the world. A promise to invent the first automobile and to keep reinventing it. To build the type of cars that define true performance while never sacrificing their true beauty. And to introduce innovations that help save lives and the planet. 4 simple words Mercedes-Benz lives by to this day. The best or nothing. That is what drives us.
They're dangerous, they're desperate. Use extreme caution in your approach.
Ready or not, here she comes.
I'm gonna catch him. You hear me? I'm gonna catch him.
Chase, a new series, Mondays 10/9 Central on NBC.
Next Wednesday, catch a sneak preview of the new series Outlaw, starring Jimmy Smits. After the finale of America's Got Talent, that's Wednesday, right here on NBC. New Orleans. Bourbon Street, ready to rock again if they can hold on to this lead. 2:05. 2-minute warning will stop it after Thomas. And that would not have been a good thing to get out of bounds had it not been for the 2-minute warning. You want to stay in. There's your 2-minute warning.
get up every day, tell them something going to change their lives. They never do. This is the last one. We're hitting pause after this.
The Town, rated R.
South of Laredo, there's a place. Gotta cross an ocean of scorpion-covered earth. So hot, rattlesnakes combust spontaneously. We're drawn like moths to a flaming jalapeno. But you gotta eat bold. Know what I'm saying?
Subway's turned up the heat. Introducing Subway Fiery Footlong Subs. The hot new turkey jalapeno melt and boldacious buffalo chicken. Eat bold.
Subway Fiery Footlong Subs. Burn the wimp right out of you.
Finally, it's back to football, Coach.
That's right, Jaws. It's time to get to work.
ESPN Monday Night Football, a special doubleheader. Ravens-Jets at 7, followed by Chargers-Chiefs.
Here's the math, 2nd down and 6, assuming Minnesota stops them without a first down here. Take the timeout, and then before a 4th down play, they'd snap the ball to punt with about 1:15. This assumes they don't pick up a first down, and forget that assumption because they just picked up the first down. Pierre Thomas takes the ball to the 45-yard line. So the Vikings in a position where they had to stop him without a first down. Now they take a timeout, and they have none remaining.
You know, Al, it's just been the story of the game here in the second half. This cutback play has just absolutely wiped out the Minnesota Vikings. Big guys inside, they just wipe you down, and then the back cuts back. Good job in there by Heath Evans getting the block, and that's been the story.
This NFL kickoff special being brought to you by Warner Brothers Pictures, The Town, in theaters everywhere, September the 17th, by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com, by Bank of America, and by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And this crowd is loving it right now. And they can just take a couple of knees and see around.
You know, for me, Al, the story of this game really has been the lack of a passing game by the Vikings. Sidney Rice is out. Brett Favre wasn't in camp. Percy had the migraines and missed time. Camarillo just got here. There's no timing. There's no sense of any kind of synchronization between Brett Favre and these receivers, and when they had opportunities, they just could not take advantage.
That's the post-game lineup coming your way. So the Saints, who did nothing but throw the ball in the first half and really couldn't do anything except for that one drive, decide to run the ball in the second half, and they can take one more knee and know that they're going to a record of 1-0. The Vikings, who have a very tough early season schedule, will go home, and they will face Miami a week from Sunday, and then Detroit. And then after that, their next 5 games are all against playoff teams from last year, including a big Sunday night game at Green Bay, so it's going to be rough. And the Saints pick up a couple of very key first downs, and Brees turns and hands the ball to Harper. And as Chris was saying, they made that defensive switch with Harper working on Shiancoe in the second half, and that was big after Shiancoe had burned them in the first half, and the Saints come home and win their home opener.
Shiancoe with no catches whatsoever in the second half, and he was their one threat in the first half.
So the Gillette post-game report is coming right up. But first, these messages from your local NBC station.
My dad was a criminal. Truth is, I learned some things from him. Things no one should know. Bad things. Shaped me into what I am today. Annie Frost, U.S. Marshal.
Chase, a new series, Mondays 10, 9 Central on NBC.